ourselves. That's it. Let's go to the beach, Chris. How many of us can we go to the beach?
Which beach you wanna go to? Let's go.
Right. The second part of the story is that $3.3 million property that you got into contract, it happened at about 7:30 at night. And I know that because as he was getting it into contract, he was jimmying open my lock to my office, because I locked myself out of my office, locked my keys in the office, and he was rescuing me as he was closing put a $3.3 million deal in contract. Congratulations, I love you. Thomas and Tori, you guys actually did the same exact bucket fill, and everybody needs people in their lives that challenge you, and I love having leaders around me that can tell me, Jesse, you suck at this. And it's the most loving, honestly, it's the most loving thing.
Thomas
We
and
can
Tori
do.
are really good at that.
No,
That's why we love them.
But honestly, like,
We won't use any names, but we'll say Thomas. Just for position.
I'm telling you, the people that have impacted my life the most have had not necessarily tough conversations, but honest, raw feedback in private. By the way, if y'all give me that feedback in public, you're gonna hurt my feelings. It doesn't work out. Okay, I'm sensitive. I just appreciate you guys so much and being able to disagree and spar, and we love each other. We get places. Okay. I don't want to forget anybody. Megan, she was here. So Megan has decided to grow an arm of her business in profit share. She's focusing on wealth. And just like we do in our real estate business, when we get a lead and we're nurturing the lead and we're passing the lead off to our mortgage partners and they're not quite ready yet, we're following up with them, right? She's treating that exactly like a real estate business. And so she'll reach out to me. Did you talk to this referral yet? How can I help? Does this person need a nudge? Where are we? Can we go through my pipeline? I love it. I love it. And her kids and grandkids are gonna have money forever. So I'm really excited about that. Okay. I feel like I'm talking a lot. I know I'm talking a lot. Somebody else give me a bucket.
I have one for Megan also,
I love you.
being a great mentor and helping with all of my questions. A lot of
She's an incredible mentor, and what a great pair, really. Y'all don't, if you don't know Brittany yet, she's a systems person. I'm just grabbing the water. Thank you. Allergies, I promise you guys are not sick. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad. That's awesome. So we gotta move on, you guys, unless somebody else has one. No, we're not done. Wayla, you and I had a conversation once, and you changed me as a mother for the better. I'm not gonna cry. I love you. You know what I'm talking about. KK,
But I'm glad I helped.
I love you. KK.
Yeah.
And since you moved offices, I know I don't open my door a whole lot because I'm focused, but I hear your voice and it makes me feel good. Your energy being around, it makes me feel good. I love it.
Write
Okay.
that down because no one else can say that.
I got it for everybody. All right, cute. Tomorrow, who has, raise your hand if you've ever gotten to the point of your license renewal and said, oh crap, I've got to take all my classes. Yeah. I've done that. I've actually only done that. And so I don't like doing that. And I also love learning. And so if you're struggling to get through CE, if your CE class is not inspiring you, then you're in the wrong class. One of the classes that generally doesn't inspire me is Legal 1 and 2. However, I've taken it from Amy. This is the one to take. It's tomorrow at 8:30. Yeah, it's tomorrow, 8:30 to 5. She'll let you out early. Tell her I said that. And it's at American National Bank downtown.
That's approved for 12 weeks.
You
Okay,
have 2 years to get your 18 hours of water.
Chris.
Don't wait until the last week.
hey, there were some of y'all that were actually in track mandated probation for a few weeks because we waited too
I
long.
have a question about it, because I took Legal 1 and 2. I think through 2 or 3
Paul Trey, I do not know the answer to that question.
Okay.
You have to take it every time.
Yep, every time, but hear it from the
Every
horse's
2 years,
mouth.
you have to retake it.
All right,
I think
coming up.
I think like 3 months ago.
Hey, last night, you guys, I, along with several leaders in the market center, supported private property rights by drinking sangria. And so the tree pack event was awesome. And for those of you that contributed and setting that up, thank you. And we appreciate you. That was great. Tomorrow, apparently we're drinking again. Fuzzies 4 to 6. This is just a hang, right? It's a hang. All right, awesome. I love it. Tacos and margaritas. Thursday, the 24th. Can you, Thomas, can you talk about our panel on Thursday, the 24th?
Thursday, the 24th, we're gonna have an awesome panel that currently has 3 of the 4 panelists. We'll find a 4th one. And it's gonna be your, we had 4.
Okay.
We had,
No worries.
and now we have 3.
No worries.
So you're
Great.
originally gonna get 12 apps, now you're gonna get 9. But it is the 3 best real estate apps that top producing real estate agents are using to grow and maintain their businesses. So I will present one, I will present 3, Rebecca Douglas will present 3, Joanna will present 3. And someone else who is a tech-enabled agent who will not be a last-minute addition at all.
Yeah.
Newly, yeah.
Gotcha. I'm gonna pause. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pause here. That's gonna be a great conversation. And please come up here, Pam. So I love that we seriously, I've gotten to see you like 5 times over the last couple of weeks.
Well, we're friends now.
And yes, and sincerely thank you for all the support, not just the sandwiches, but like you take care of your people and us. And so I love it. Appreciate you. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, what's going on? Hi, I'm Shelley.
Okay, pronounce the company name again.
Achosa.
Achosa. Pronounce it one more time.
Achosa.
Achosa. All right.
Achosa.
Go ahead. It's new. New.
It's not new, actually.
It's new to me. I'm sorry. It's not new at all. It's
I
not
think,
new at all.
I think a lot of people think
Long-standing, well-respected
it's
company.
new. I'm gonna take a different twist here. How many of you had, first of all, I'm Shelley Jones, I'm with Achosa Home Warranty. I came from a traditional home warranty company, for those of you that know who I am. So I won't say who that was, but I was there for a good 5 years. How many of you have had the problematic claim with your client on a home warranty issue? Yes, you have, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I want to tell you why. I decided today instead of just saying, we're great, all that. I think the company is amazing. It was started by a few guys that came from a traditional home warranty company of 25 years. And so we came back in fruition at the beginning of 18. And so when I got called about this at the end of last year, I was determined not to go back into the home warranty industry. I was there for 5 years. It wasn't that I failed, but did something different. But coming back into it, I did not want the claim issues because I've been a broker for 20 years. I don't practice, but I know real estate. So it helps me to help y'all with your job. It does help. But knowing how important it is that your homeowners are taken care of and not upset is extremely important because that's for your repeat business. You want to be like a 90% or 90% of your income coming from, your clients, but you want to make sure they're taken care of. So when there's a client problem claim, it doesn't work very well because usually I was spending most of my time fighting claims and trying to keep realtors calm and homeowners calm. And it was just a mess.
It gives me anxiety.
So
That gives me anxiety thinking about that's a tough
Well, it
job.
did me too. You should be a rep doing it in the middle of
No,
the summer.
no,
when nobody
don't.
wants to bring an air conditioner out and, a month later. we
That's a
still got
tough job.
Homeowner. It's really not cool. Here's what we don't do. I want to tell you what the other 32 plus companies do that are considered a traditional company because we're not. We're kind of the game changer and everybody knows it. But what the traditional companies do is they hire a pool of vendors that they hire on with their corporation. And when there's a claim filed, they send out one of their corporate, their tech guys, and they're paid flat rate fees. And the fees usually no more than $150 for any job. And I mean that literally from 130 to 150 is what they get paid. So they say, well, we're going to get you repeat business because we're a big company, right? So the idea is to go out and do a good job, and the homeowner will call them back. But what would happen is most of these contractors in these other companies they made their money by selling. They made their money by selling more. That's just the way it is. It's just most contractors that way. Christian, right? So they would send them out and they say, okay, the air conditioner's broken, we have to replace it for $130. That's what they get paid to replace the air conditioner. Most of the time they were providing their own equipment. Sometimes used equipment, sometimes not. Nobody really ever knew. The other thing that was happening is the tech would go out and there'd be an obvious issue that we knew was the problem. We diagnosed the problem and the tech would go out and try to upsell them more product. Well, your air conditioner's 18 years old. It's gonna go out. So I'll tell you what, pay me over here, $2,000 and I'll take care of I'll give you a really good deal on an air conditioner. You just go out and the warm home warranty company. Well, that didn't go over real well because Chris knows this, because the homeowner would then, if they didn't want that to happen, they'd call the realtor usually and say, hey, you're trying to sell me something I don't need. They tell me this was fixable. So now I've got a mad
It's
realtor
such a
coming back to
nightmare.
us. Usually after the fact is when I would get the call. We're fighting contractor departments constantly. This doesn't happen with the chosen. You get to hire your own guys. If you have good guys, we want them on our list, so that when a homeowner comes to the area, they don't know anybody, they can call and we can recommend some to them. But they hire their own guy, they come out, they call us back in, they say, here's what's wrong, we diagnosed it, we say, we're paying up to this amount, or we're paying all that, here's what we're paying you. Do the work, call me back, we'll pay you over the phone. All one and done, just done, win-win, go.
Mhm.
Homeowner's happy, your conditioner's fixed today, because most of you guys, like Cammy, I work with Cammy Hopkins, she's got a list of vendors she's done for 25 years probably. I know Chris does too. He's been in business a long time. So y'all have people you trust that you know that are local, that will keep the business local. They're not coming from Weatherford to Denton. I mean, they're local. And so again, if you have people you really like, that's electricians, plumbers, HVAC guys that are really good, let me know. I'll get them added to the list. So if a homeowner just calls and says, I'm filing a claim, I don't know anybody here, I just moved here, or whatever it may be, and maybe they have not communicated with their realtor, hopefully not, but most of the time, if the realtor has a list of people, then they can recommend their guys.
I have for clarity,
Just that
my client can choose, they can hire anybody that they want.
Anybody they want.
They don't have to be on your list.
they're not on our list. Our list is only there to help them if they don't know
Okay.
anybody and they call in. And they say, I don't know anybody, like this lady who's moved into Corinth, and Candy's clients, moved into Corinth, she came out of state, she knows nobody, but I live in Corinth. So I said, listen, I'll tell you what, if you ever have a claim or you get a problem, number one, I know Candy has vendors, if you ever file a claim, don't know anybody. But if you don't know anybody, you don't, whatever it may be, then we'll give you a list of 2 or 3 people that have been added to the Achosa list just because you guys recommend them. We don't go pull them out of the yellow pages and say, a number 1 error, milestone, whatever. We don't do
Can I
that.
plus this just a
Go
little bit? There's several of us in this room that have not been through a post-closing home warranty nightmare. It's a nightmare. It doesn't matter if it's your sister, brother, mother who loves you more than anybody. It's a nightmare.
It is.
Shelley helps.
I can't tell you, I got the
Shelley
point
from
with the other company, I was calling the owners of companies saying, hi, your tech's out there doing this. You know, I had a Remax agent, big agent in Flower Mound that I had, and I haven't got, been calling yet, telling what I'm doing, but he called me one day and said, I'm hiring the company, not you, you're great, I know you take care of everything. He goes out on every claim for his clients, it's the strangest thing, but he does. Every claim filed with any client, he goes out there to make sure the techs are doing the right thing. They never did the right thing when he was there. And he called me back and he said, I can't do this. This is my business. This is people that trust me. These are people that. I've
It makes a big
recommended your company."
difference.
So he said, "Well, when you change companies, let me know." This was years ago, but I was like, wow. So the fact is, if they can hire their own guy today and they come out today, and like some of you guys have people that will come out today if their condition is broken. Like, come back to my house today. I know you. Hi, come on out. Diagnose it, get on the phone. We pay up to, just like any other company, we pay a cap, whatever it may be. This is what we're gonna pay. Get the work done. Call us back. They pay them over the phone. Literally pay them over the phone.
I love it.
So
That's a
it's
big
done.
difference.
So the whole thing with Chosa, they interviewed a lot of homeowners and a lot of realtors. Realtors, what all the realtors wanted was, don't give me a 20-page folder. And so we did this. This is a front page, what we're all about, the back page is pricing. So this is what realtors wanted. They didn't want a bunch of junk paper and the junk y'all didn't want. Homeowners just wanted something done right now. They just want somebody to build a commitment right now. And if it's this guy they trust in their house and the work will get done right, they're happy. That's the whole key with them. Because when a homeowner gets upset with you guys, y'all get upset with us. It's just the way it is. It's a vicious circle when claims go right. It really is. So when they
It's a
came out
big
into this
difference.
company, I was called out of the blue. I was like, oh, it's gotta be really different. Because there's
Yeah.
no way, because I've been in real estate a long time, so I have a lot of real estate friends. And a lot of you guys are my clients as well. Y'all also have the home warranty on your house.
They built a better
And so
product.
when
They're
a
changing it.
realtor's house and something goes
Great.
wrong and the tech does something, it's really bad. It's like, wow. did you
It's-
have-
it
you had to
stinks. Call
pick that
Shelley.
house. Don't pick that person.
She
So-
picks up her phone too.
We have no
She gets
problems.
busy.
I've not had any claim calls yet. I don't have any claim problems because nobody calls me. If there's a claim issue, if there's anyone on the deck, it's between the tech usually and the homeowner because they know them. The work gets done. So on the back of this is pricing. Ours is real simple. We have the most easiest pricing thing, $575, $675. There's another plan that's, I think it's $700, and it's because the people that want to buy down the trade fee from $100 to $75, they can do the $700 payments. Basically, the $675 with the $25 added on.
Can I just have my people call you?
Huh?
Can I have my people call you?
Please. And I'll talk to any buyers, any sellers, anybody that wants to understand the product before they buy it with us. I'm more than happy to talk to them. I can totally talk to lingo. I understand how important they are to y'all. I totally get that. But 675, 575, the only difference in these two plans, and by the way, our basics include like washer, dryer, refrigerator, things are only add-ons. Both of them are in these plans. The only difference in the two is the 675 will give you $800 more cap for the HVC. It'll give you $200 more cap on the water. That's the only difference. I will tell you, don't go 675 unless you've got a really old air conditioner.
I'm just
More
gonna
than
say.
8 years old, I would just say if it's more than 8 years old, maybe go to 675. And I know we're getting written out a lot on the contracts right now, we're with the countrywide, it's just the way it is right now. Gift it to them. This is a product worth giving. Gift it, you can write it off on your taxes. It's a great gift to get somebody and we'll take care of them. They get taken care of. So our renewals are very high. But that's the only difference in the two products. So if you got an old air conditioner, go with the 675 if you don't. There's a little option down here. I'm trying to get the company to describe it so people know what Conserve. It's called Conserve. It's a $25 add-on. That will replace any items in the house that are considered energy efficient. If they're five-star energy efficient type, like a refrigerator, HVAC, then if that's not already in the house, that Conserve option added on for $25, they'll replace it with an energy efficient item. Plus, it will give them an additional $200 on that item when they replace it. Okay. But Conserve is a good thing to have if you just, most people say with our plans, go with 600 or 700. Because the 575 plus the 25, 600, or the 675 with the 25 and 700,
Yeah.
which is the best plan. But they're identical. And seller's coverage is included. It is free. We do not tack on HVAC closing. It is completely free up to $1,000. We don't just have seller claims, but if we do, as long as it was broken before we put it on, or not broken before we put it on, it's down right. You know, 'cause I had a realtor call me this morning, at KWA, called me this morning, she said, their dishwasher's broken, they're not fixing crap, it's an as-is set. I said, well, I get it in this market, I mean, they someone can do anything right now. I said, dishwasher's not gonna cost that much. I said, but since it's broken, it's a pre-existing condition, so no, the seller's coverage won't, when I had it Monday for her, it ain't gonna cover that dishwasher unless they fix it. Buyers probably aren't gonna argue that. In a normal market, my buyer's gonna make you fix that, so I'm like, get it fixed, and then keep the receipt, and then we'll start covering it.
I appreciate knowing all of this detail. And for me, for my knowledge, so that way I can say, y'all, call Shelley, to my people, to our clients, y'all call Shelley, she'll sell it better than me, and trust her.
It is a good product. Besides that, I take care of my realtors. If you want to know how I work, ask Cammy. You can ask Rebecca Ray. There are people I already work with, that are friends of mine from. Now, Rebecca Ray actually taught my first class in 1997. I believe that.
I think
Was it Kaplan? Kaplan, that's it.
Are we,
So.
are we supposed to be doing a drawing?
I have a
or is it
drawing.
Different.
Yeah,
All right,
does everybody have a business card and or we could just say, we could do it this way. We could do whoever's birthday is the closest to today.
Forward or backward,
I don't figure out.
or both?
Doesn't
Is it
matter.
already
Somebody will
passed?
be close. No, it's gotta be coming up.
Okay. go coming up.
Y'all wanna do that? What's
It's your
birthday's
call.
closest to today?
It's your call.
Well, I love your card anyway. I'm gonna send you my flyer. I want you to have the electronic version of this. That's what most of our realtors want. But I'll get you, we got hard copies and there are some downstairs. And if you want some additional ones, just mail to you, just let me know, because these are great when you're listing package. These are great for your buyers. They're one page. We have the big long one with the terms and conditions and all of that
Yeah.
applications, but I have yet to have one of y'all ask for
I feel safer sending them to you. All right, let's do a drawing.
it. Good, right? Go ahead, Kurt.
What are we giving away? Oh, I like this big cute mug.
You know what? I think it's an ice cream mug. Well, they run clearance somewhere and I got a 10 of them, but I think it's an ice
It's
cream
precious.
mug.
I love it.
But it's got July 4th stuff in it.
Okay.
So, you got cards?
We're coming.
Here's
No, we
Fauci.
have papers. We don't have
That's
cards.
fine. Paper's fine.
While you're up here with us, Shelly,
Fine.
are you coming in happy hour with us for a night? You're more than welcome to.
Where's that here?
Fuzzy's
Fuzzy's,
next door,
Fuzzy's.
4 to 6.
Okay.
Okay, so I wanna ask y'all, while we're collecting all of this, have you in the last week, I wanna talk about it every week, just for a couple minutes, what different, strange, inventive, innovative, confusing situations have you run into in multiple offer situations?
It's a loaded
It's
question.
like, it's something new every week, so tell me what you're seeing, what your questions about. Tell me what's wild.
I've offered a puppy, I've offered up my firstborn child, I've offered
Your first one.
Wait, she's a little sassy.
Okay, that was
She's
good.
your own, also your only child.
My own.
No, seriously.
No, I call and ask, what do you want? I mean, like, what is most important to you? Feedback? Want a puppy?
You call whom and ask.
Say my hand.
And if they tell, are they allowed to tell you that?
Yeah. You can, some of them sing, some of them don't.
Explain this rule more clearly than I will. About when, let's say we're putting in an offer, I'm representing a buyer,
Walk this way.
and I'm aware that we're in a multiple offer situation. I call the agent and I say, what's it gonna take, what's most important to them? Is it the lease back, is it this, tell me what they want. Tell me protocol and how we walk through that.
It's just a fun thing.
You're a seller. how much you disclose.
We have the buyer.
Yeah, but it's up to the seller, how much they disclose to you in that phone call.
Should we ask? Should we ask?
Yeah, absolutely. I always ask, how do I write the best offer for yourself?
Okay, I love that. Did y'all hear that? Say that again.
I didn't hear anything.
How do I write the best offer for yourself?
I love that.
Like the highest and the cleanest. Leave it at that.
Yeah. And so I said that to you now, and what do you tell me as a listening?
Well, I would tell you, like, let's say my client has it's got to do with possession, right? They need a 45-day close, or they need a 30-day close with a 2-week lease back. That's what I would tell you, right? Just tell you what my client needs.
Okay. I'm saying this slowly because tread lightly. Just tread lightly here. I love the script on the buyer side, and it is 100% up to your sellers what they allow you to disclose. Okay. And thank you. Ma'am,
Okay, I just was the listing agent with a ton of them, and a lot of them were cash. And I just got a lovely gift from a home warranty company, so.
yay, you won.
So don't listen to this part, but you know, but I got one that was, you didn't say we would take FHA. It was FHA, it involved a home warranty, it involved paying for a new survey. The buyer's agent wrote it as if it was a year or two ago.
Explain.
You know what, I mean, we would ask for all those things before, but you can't ask for any, I mean,
Oh, okay.
you can pay, I would buy the warranty for my buyers. I mean, there's a lot of things we can do, and it's easy, but don't complicate that offer, asking for all those things, because
Yeah.
that was the first one we set to the side.
Yeah.
In a group of like 9.
Mhm.
Always
And
have a
then-
appraisal waiver.
And then when we accepted a different one, I actually got that offer back with a backup addendum, and I said, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying not to be ugly and say, they're not gonna work. They don't have to.
That's training. That's agent training.
Well, and
That's sad.
really, I think that, I don't
Maybe we can
know.
help.
Brian Wilson has taken FHA buyers for me in terms of conventional,
Mhm.
with very little down. I mean, I think there are ways for people
Yeah.
to
Let
come
your lender
across
advise.
stronger. But
What else?
It just
Anything else
didn't work.
weird?
I had that, I told you about this morning.
That's kind of that's, if it were a home for sale and not for lease, I would say that's weird. That's actually pretty common, your situation. I'll talk a little bit more about it. And I saw someone offer a year's worth of Netflix.
Yeah. I saw that too.
can we do that?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
You can throw anything in. Yeah, you can operate.
Lenders might be annoyed with you, but I don't have anything against it. I don't know. I'm interested to
I
see
saw one
things
that
and
was
hear
a
anything
lifetime
from you guys. I'm surprised every day, so. I will, I'm not gonna take up any more time because I want this lesson to be for Thomas. Thank you. Thank you. Who knows what we're talking about today? Hey, show. I love it. Thomas, what are you helping us with today?
Talk about our database. It's a small group today, which is a real shame because we're gonna get a ton of freaking value. So make sure you tell everybody, like, hey, I went to the KW Denton office meeting and I got a ton of value and you didn't because you're an idiot. So so
Thomas, tell us how you feel about that.
I'll tell you how I feel about a
Share
whole
with
bunch
us
of
so we
things.
know.
I got a ton of
That
content.
is the focus.
Endless content. Yes, it is very, yes, please hand those out. So yes, this is endless culture about to happen. So I'll start with a story. The bread and butter of my business for the past 2 to 3 years has been a source called expired listings. My favorite thing to do is to go after sellers who have already raised their hand and said, hey, I'm looking to sell my house and I'm willing to use a real estate agent. It's just that the one that I picked wasn't very good. That's like my favorite thing to do, is to go show those people all of my tools and resources, the ones that I created myself and the ones that I'm gifted by being at the #1 real estate company on the face of planet Earth. So it's fun. It's my sport, is what it is. Now, just imagine that like you built that huge system and now you're in a real estate market where stuff doesn't expire. Well,
It was 4 the other day.
well, so that's the problem, right? And so what happened is my business is still growing. And so I'm like, how do I've got a business with a ton of overhead and some huge aspirations. So how do I keep that growth going with like my #1 lead generation source kaput, right? What do I do? And the answer, by the way, is the database. Now I'm going to go ahead and those of you who have just rolled your eyes, you are me, okay? Because I sat in this training room for 5, maybe 6 years. And every time an agent came up here and said, yeah, I just take care of my database, I would just go, you're such an idiot with no substance. You stand up here at the front and work your database. I'm sitting there like, I don't have one, first of all. And second of all, it doesn't work. So I come to you humbled today. It works. So
I wish we would have recorded
I
that.
know.
too big, too
We
late.
might, isn't it?
Oh, good.
So there's a little known book called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And The Millionaire Real Estate Agent is really, really cool because it puts every single person in your database, okay, into 2 categories. Everyone in your database falls into one of 2 categories, right? Does anybody know what they are? Someone in here knows.
Really short word.
Yes. Yeah, so it's Mets, not the baseball team, and then it's not Mets, all right? And that's true, right? Everybody in your database, you've either met them or you haven't. That's
Why
totally
are they in
true.
your database if you haven't met?
I've got tons of people that are in my database that I haven't met. Neighborhood contacts, farm contacts, people whose business cards I pulled off of the wall at Fuzzies. Dangerous to put your business card on the wall at Fuzzies. I'm gonna take it down. I'm gonna put you in my database. So,
Write that down.
So I would argue that there is a third category that falls within your Mets, and that is something that we'll call our core, okay? I came up with this circle thing. You guys into this? So, so I've added a third category, which is your core. Just to give you an idea of how small your core can be, I have a database of 6,000 people, okay? My core has about 140 people in it. So that's about 2 1/3%, okay? Your core are the people that you know, who love you, who would die for you. If somebody sitting at the back of a bus mentioned needing to sell their house for top dollar, they would literally dive in traffic through the bus to get to that person and say, I gotta tell you about my friend, and they would consider you a friend. That is your core, okay? So your core should be on something called the DTD2. Does anybody know what DTD2 stands for? It's a really lively group here. It's basically a rock concert in here. So I didn't care.
Do the database.
Do the database, 2. So the reason for the 2 is that represents how many letters you're going to contact at a time, okay? And so you'll see, here, can I have one? It's broken down. You'll notice you don't go AB and then CD and then EF. And the reason for that is because there's like a ton of people with A names and there's like a ton of people with B names. But imagine getting to like PQ day and you've got like a Patty and like that's it. It gets weird. So you don't want to call like 150 people on Monday and then call no one on Wednesday. So that's why it's set up that way. Someone scientific has gone and said a bunch of names start with A, not a whole bunch with W. A whole bunch of names start with B, not a whole lot with E. So that's why it's set up in this way. Now, on this document, I ignore the dates, okay? I do this all at once, so just every day. So how many days is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So basically it's 2 weeks, okay? So in 2 weeks, I will go through my core, okay? So people who love me, people who like me, And I will call all of these people, and then 3 months later, I'll do it again. Okay, it's a quarterly touch. If you go and look at your 36 touch in Millionaire Real Estate Agent, it says that you should call your database once a quarter. That's what this is. Okay, so the next thing I'll say about this is you should follow, I'm going to break all the rules. You should follow communication preferences. Okay, I know that I'm a millennial. I know that. And I know that my generation is wrong about 97% of the time. Okay, but here's the 3% of the time that we're right. It has to do with communication. Stop calling me. Stop calling me. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. Text me and I'll get back to you at my earliest convenience. Okay. So there are certain people, I have a client who's an 80-year-old concert pianist. He wants to talk on the phone. Okay. So I call him. Okay. I have other clients who are on a social media network called Facebook, and they message me through Facebook Messenger. So whenever I get to their name on the DTD2, do I call them? No, I message them where they're comfortable talking to. Okay.
What does that look like?
Right, I'm going to give you the script too. So if you're doing the DTD2 for the first time, here's my favorite script. It's brilliant. And by the way, it has a 100% response rate. It has a 100% positivity rate. It really does. It really actually does. Here's the script. Hi, first name. I was driving through wherever they live the other day, and I thought about you. Just wanted to check in and make sure that you and the family are okay. Question mark. So that's the script. Hi, I was recently thinking about you, and I just want to check on you, make sure you're okay. Every single person has responded positively. And I usually say something along the lines of like, hey, I see you're killing it in real estate because they're watching my social media. Or they'll say like, hey, great, how are you, right? Which gives us the opportunity to start up a conversation. I have rekindled relationships that have been dead for 6 years. That's not a joke. I had a manager at one of my former employers who, I mean, we were close. And then I left that job because it was horrible. And our lives just kind of went different directions as they do. And this person was like, oh my God, I was just thinking about you the other day. We need to get together. So I just rekindled a relationship using this stupid tool that's been available to me for the last like several decades. Yeah.
Why do you think it's so powerful?
I think people love to be thought of. And like, if that's your core, if that's the people that they love, well, you probably love them too. And they probably feel that. And so the next caveat that I would say is if you're going through your DTD2 and there's someone that like you don't want to contact, they're probably not in your core. Okay. The next thing that I will say is that you should always be creating incentives for the people who are in your core, because the people who are in this METS circle should want to be here. Okay. The people who are in your METS should want to be in your inner circle. That's a better word for this. And the people who are not METS should want to meet you, right? So it's about how do I create enough value and how do I create enough buzz to make people want to push into my core, right? Or want to push into my inner circle. How do you do that? So we have some strategies. One is that we have a private Facebook group, right? We all have our own Facebook page, and I'm sure you'll notice you will post great content on your Facebook page and you'll get one like and it's your mom. Yeah. Okay. You notice this? Facebook has set themselves up to value people who pay for advertisements, and if you don't, then they will not show your content. That's just how they're set up. That's their business model. Okay. Private groups tend to show up way more often than sometimes even your personal pages, right? So what we do is we have a private Facebook group, and it's for our core. Right? That's content that nobody else gets to see. Okay. Whenever we're putting out a video later today. The other day I went on this really bizarre showing where we walked into a vacant house and there was a couple making out in the pool.
Okay,
Vacant
awesome.
house. That's a story that my core is privy to. My professional METS database does not get that story. Okay. So you create incentives for people to want to be your core. We've got an event coming up where we're going to clean up Hickory Creek. We're going out in kayaks on Hickory Creek, and we're going to pick up trash. We've got trash grabbers. We've got it sponsored. There's a picnic afterwards. My core gets first priority. My core gets discounted rentals on kayaks. And then you got my Mets database, who will hear about it a week later.
I'm not actively selling real estate. Can I come?
Yes. When is it? Saturday. Saturday.
I can't. Thanks, Amanda.
You probably aren't in the room.
She is in the
Can
room.
I
You are
ask
in
a
the room.
question?
Lauren had her hand up.
Sorry. My question is super basic, but I was just curious if you did this, because when I'm doing this,
Yeah.
like with my database in general, when everybody's mixed up, I like that you say core, because sometimes it takes me forever, and I'm calling people I know, I don't know, I know, so do you
Yeah.
tag them as core?
So they're tagged in our database as DTD2. You can tag them as core, because if they're not in my core, they're not on my DTD2. And I was really protective about that whenever, because my director of operations handed me my database of 6,000 people one day and was like, here's your DTD2 list. I was like, and we argued about it for a couple of weeks. And then I determined I was just like, the people who get my time are my core. And so I had to go through the database and find those people. So on your first go around, my recommendation is take your full database, but go through the A's and W's. Right? Go through the A's and W's. And I just put them into a spreadsheet, right? Super complicated. And I just have my column for all the people that I'm going to contact. The next column is how I chose to reach out to them. Did I text them? Did I Facebook message them? Did I Instagram? Did I invite them to dinner? Like, what did I do? And then the next column is the response. That's it. And then once they've responded to you, my recommendation is that you go into your chosen CRM provider. Maybe it's Command, maybe it isn't, and just notate like, hey, here's the last contact information, or here's the last bit of info or the conversation that we had. So by the way, so here's the money conversation. It took me 2 weeks to call through a list of people that I love, and Julian helped, right? Because Julian's got people in his database. So if you've got leverage on your team that also has a core, you should call those people too. And we pulled $3 million in volume out of the database, out of 2.3% of our database in 2 weeks.
How's it broken down? Listings and buyers?
2 listings and 3 buyers from the database, and then 1 buyer referral. So total of 6. So, the real question is like, if I could tell you, like, all you have to do is call the people you love for 2 weeks and you're gonna make 90 grand, like, is that a valuable, like, statement?
I'll see you later. I'm going to make calls for you guys.
So congratulations, thank you for coming to an office meeting. So, based on, yeah, right.
I have 7 questions, so just tell me if I should say them to the end.
We have time.
Can you get granular with us? You had 140 people in your core and it took you 2 weeks to call through them using the DTD2. How many hours a day did you work on average doing that?
1,
I was gonna say, you're good for 1, right?
it's honestly, like, it's not, even if you've got like 30 people, I mean, I'm sitting there and I'll, 2 of them are gonna take a call, a 10-minute call, and then, you're gonna text a big chunk of them, you're gonna Facebook message them, you're gonna send your carrier pigeon. I have some clients who they love email, so I email them. I track my emails, I know they open them, I know when they open them. So it's just.
That's 10 hours of work
No.
for $90,000 in GCI. And is it magic? It's not a magic touch.
He probably has a magic touch. but it's
You
I'm
have
teaching you the magic.
The answer is yes, he does.
It's magic system.
And you just
We,
say
well,
not.
we all have our own magic touch, whether we know it or not. And it's really easy to have a magic touch when you're talking to people. It's your core. So I say that because it's just super simple, right? It's not rocket science. And normally I'm teaching technology. This is not technology. Okay, this is a spreadsheet. You can contact your people. Yeah.
I like to ask questions that people might be thinking and not asking. So tell me if I'm newer, I haven't talked to this person in a while. They probably know from Facebook that I'm a realtor now. They probably know why I'm really calling. And so
Yeah.
I have a mindset trap around calling using that script because they're gonna know why I'm really calling.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. 100% of people live somewhere. Okay, you're not selling Advocare. Okay, you're not selling that crazy rap thing. Like, you're not a Mary Kay salesman. You're just like, yeah, I do happen to sell houses. I just think that if you're a real estate agent and you're uncomfortable approaching the people you love and checking in on them, because that's genuine, right? If you love them, you're actually checking in on them. And they just happen to remind them like, hey, I checked in on you. You may not have asked, and maybe you're not checking in on me, but I do want to let you know, I am in the business of real estate now. I'm sure you've heard about the market. You get a crud ton of money for your house right now, or you can, I just literally pre-approved somebody with a mortgage company that we own at a 2.4% interest rate yesterday. So like, is that something that would interest you or anyone you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't think that's that salesy.
You can't make care calls to people that you don't care about for very long. anyhow.
No,
Yeah.
no, I can't do it at all. I don't have that capacity.
But if these are past clients, you developed a rapport.
Yeah.
On the day you close.
That's right. And a lot of, so of that 140, I would say, I don't know what the breakdown is, but I would say maybe 30% of them are past clients. And the other 60% are friends, family, acquaintances. We have somebody we met at a bar. It's just kind of,
People don't love you.
yeah.
That they will use you, and in the meantime.
Okay, first,
We are all in line. You're just going to rotate this.
that's fine. We have time.
Okay, you said create incentives for the Mets to want to push into the inner circle. What are the incentives?
You didn't think that the incentive about the story of people making out the pool was good enough? So here's some incentives, and it's incentives that you can offer to anyone and everyone, but like what's going on right now that you as a real estate agent could be super helpful with? It has to-
Their house, the market, what.
Well, it has to value, but it has to do with like, has to do with your taxes. I mean, how long does it take you to generate comps for a neighborhood and go like, hey, I know your taxes probably went through the roof. Like, do you want me to check and make sure that that's an accurate number? And then your script is always going to be like, hey, well, I got good news and bad news. The bad news is like, it's totally a fair number. The good news is,
They got them now.
the good news is, imagine what you could get for your house today.
In the
So,
old days, they didn't have MLS.
Mhm.
So when clients would call us and say, can you help me with my evaluation, you pull a
Yeah.
couple of the most ridiculous low deals.
Yeah.
Write a letter and you just say,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good feel, a good moment.
Yeah.
Now, they're right, and it's a lot.
go for it.
This ties into your question, I'm curious,
Mhm.
from you and from the group, what are the Facebook groups that you guys are a part of that you're just a part because you find it valuable? I have mine.
I find lab coat agents to be super valuable. I think they're a higher level conversation. The Command Your Conversion has higher level conversations. Most of the local real estate groups like Real Estate Masterminds, Realtor Endeavor, and all those are a bunch of non-KW agents. And I mean this in the sweetest, most loving way. People that have no idea what they're doing and are putting it on display.
Those are the ones team leaders always get kicked out of. True, but real, like, not necessarily real estate related, I'm honestly, have Facebook groups you're a part of, why do you find them valuable? And so that story
Mhm.
about the, vagrants making out
Mhm.
pool, making house, awesome.
Yeah.
But I find that entertaining, 100% of the things that we read and watch online, we watch them and read them for one reason, it's because it's entertaining.
Yeah.
That is valuable, I wanna hear it.
We have Ponder rants and raves on Ponder.
Love it.
It's.
The only thing that would make it better is if you ran it.
Like literally, you need to just get
The
your
preserve
Ponder
is
and
the
down.
story.
It can take you hours to go through and read them. because
Oh, yeah.
it's
And if
really
you don't know who they are,
just-
Lana will.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Everybody can second that because she is also a member of Ponder Rants.
What are the questions that we have around DTD2? And
Okay, I have
yes.
all right, it's not a question, it's kind of a statement.
Okay.
Most, what I have found.
Yeah.
And I always say, I got this little chart a few weeks ago, I have not stuck to it, but anyway.
I only know one other agent in the market center who's doing it.
Most of
Megan.
the time, what I have found is when I do reach out to my people, whichever way fits their liking.
Yeah.
You don't really even, or I don't really say anything about real estate.
You don't have to.
Because before the conversation's over, they're usually asking me, what's going on in the market? What's happening? Are you busy? Da, 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 da.
That's right.
Then we bring in that. And if the subject doesn't come up, I don't usually bring it up.
You don't have
Because those people that are my core, that do love me, they do know what I do.
Yeah.
I don't want them to think I'm trying to give them a sales pitch.
Sure.
So I don't talk about real estate.
I would say of the people that I
Unless
reached
they-
out to, I would say conservatively 80% asked me.
Oh, yes, that's what I'm saying. Now, if they ask me if they bring it up, then of course, we're gonna talk about it. But, and a lot of them, it's, you know, it starts out with, oh, by the way, I have a friend that, you know, I gave her number to the other day, you know, something like
And
that.
think about it, like, your goal when you're reaching out to people, like you call it social hour.
Yeah.
Right? So
That's
your
social hour.
goal in that is not, in that call, is not to send equipment in the business, it's actually not. It's a checkbox.
Do we have any, except for that one, do we have any other ahas that we want to give to the room?
I like the not met, going met. I love her Facebook market.
That's a really good one.
Gabrielle. So she's brand new, she just dropped off the paperwork, y'all welcome Gabrielle, you're gonna love her.
Well, you're in the right place.
And she came to us from an awesome brokerage across town and is a leader in love and respect, and she's going to grow and learn and found her education chair, one of our education chairs, the leader of this market center. He's a top producer in this market center. They do this for free. This is why you're here. He is why we're here. These people are why we're here. So congratulations, great decision. We love you already.
Final question, action items that we'll take from the value we got from this.
Let's go do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Good.
I'm gonna commit to it.
And share, and so here's what we'll do, is that the office meeting in 2 weeks, we'll ask for results.
Oh, shoot. Well, you just let me down that road.
Okay.
We've signed pay up. We've signed pay up. Okay.
You better put it on your calendar.
I
I'm
read
putting it on my
in,
calendar, but you know what, darling, if I get stumped, I'm gonna call you just so you can say.
don't call me, just come over to my office. Just borrow
You
it.
need to check on her.
Yeah, come see us. So, I read in a very valuable book recently that, any meeting that's longer than 15 minutes is really just a party, and we definitely had a party.
We know how to party.
So,
You are a part.
I'm done.
Y'all give him some energy, guys. Thank you.
Yay, thank you.
All right, guys, be
I
blessed.
just wanna say.
We love you. ALC is next. You want to visit the ALC meeting and observe it more?
Well, I do, hey, I will love it.